Gents, you've put together a wonderful quartet of songs now that I want you to talk about. Mark, you've chosen It's Quiet Uptown from Hamilton, song from Calloway. John, you've chosen Marion Williams' unbelievable performance of Packin' Up and Grateful. Tell us a little bit about why you've chosen these works.
Sure. Well, it's Quiet Uptown, honestly. I think it could group with Poppea in terms of it is such. I think I've chosen it as much for the drama as for the music. I mean, he gets a lot of real feeling. Some pretty limited harmonic means, but I mean the scene is just so emotionally true. In the vocal conception, in what he does harmonically, and that kind of Greek chorus, that is, the address, of the ensemble is just epic and intimate at the same time. I mean, it's one of those songs I would have liked to put my name on, where I, writing in the theater. And the other piece, which is, the first, I knew of Calloway. Here's a small sidebar. My mother was, as a young woman, as a girl, really, used to sing with the big bands of the 30s and the 40s. And one of the ones that she would sing with when they came through Philadelphia was the Calloway band. And I knew some of his more traditional work, but one of his biggest hits was this piece, and I hadn't heard that until quite recently. And it opens with this extraordinary vocal riff. I all but pulled over to the side of the road because I thought, he's Pagliacci and he's a Jamaican shaman and he's a preacher, in a revival meeting at 10 in the morning, something. And I thought, what is this? How can he be all of these things simultaneously? So sort of liturgical and operatic and, mystic. And then it becomes this very suave uptown, strutting. It makes me laugh because it is so Lily Tomlin used to define comedy as the truth and instant too early. And that's my response to this piece.
And how about you, John? Marion Williams.
Well, I don't remember the year, but it was a long time ago. I had known Giancarlo Menotti because they performed a piece of mine that won the Spoleto Festival Chamber Music Competition, my violin sonata, and I went to Italy where they performed it. I didn't know him well, but I knew him. And I went on the East Side to a show called The Black Nativity. Langston Hughes did the book, and the leading performer in this was Marion Williams. I am very attracted to the optimism and joy of gospel music. It's infectious. I mean, it's like the end of Rossini Italian and Algiers' first act, where everybody in the opera house is bobbing up and down because they're just so happy.
Right.
That's how I feel about gospel. Well, I went to this one, and Marion Williams is the best. She's just the best gospel singer I have ever heard. She's full of joy and big and comes out with this fabulous in sound. She can hold a note for 30 seconds. She can do this and then scoop down and do this, and always moving and making everybody feel fantastic. So this night I went was the night before the closing night, and they were just going to stop. And I thought to myself, having been to Spoleto Festival and seen the kind of things they do, this show would be amazing in Spoleto. So I called Giancarlo at about 11 p.m. after I saw the show, 12. And he said, what is it? And I said, you have to cancel what you're doing tomorrow and go to this show because it will be a huge hit in Spoleto. And I said, Giancarlo, I have never called you about anything. This is not what I do, but you must go. And he said, well, I'm having dinner with Balanchine. And I said, cancel it.
One does,
Yeah, cancel it. And he did. He went. He signed them up immediately to go to Spoleto. They were the hit of the festival, toured Europe for years. I mean, the Black Nativity was a huge success story. And Marion Williams, when you see and hear her on YouTube, you will see that she's something very, very special. And that show is very, very special. And Grateful has become a kind of anthem for many
Yeah.
theater singers.
It's probably his best known song. It also inspired actually a children's book of the same name by Julie Andrews and her daughter, of all things. But it's I guess the best way to describe his repertoire at this point is they're kind of the songs that theater singers do when they are not singing theater. You know, if they're doing recital, if they're doing cabaret. And when you think about it, cabaret is to the theater singer, but the recital is the opera singer. Um, every theater singer singing in English knows John's work.
Yeah.
And this,
Yeah.
you know, and this too.
He's amazing.